What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Coach Booker, in the building, man. Once again, man, we live on the line, sports media, man. Live, man, on the line. Once again, man, we're going to chop it up. Not a lot tonight, guys. Not a lot. Not a lot. There's a lot going on. I just don't have a lot to talk about. Um, yeah, we first of all, like I always do, want to thank all you guys for continuing to follow us on Facebook, continuing to follow us on Instagram, and subscribing to our YouTube channel, man. We really do appreciate you guys for continuing to listen and give us advice and on the content that we put out. And we really do appreciate you. We still early, we are still very, very new at this podcast thing. We kind of found our element though. We kind of staying in our lane. We've been involved in youth sports for so long. Us and the online's crew. My team, we've been in sports for youth sports for so long. We felt like the thing that we should do is continue to kick it off. Continue to kick off youth sports, man. Continue to let youth sports drive, be the engine that kind of drives us in the beginning. And of course, we'll continue to do our exclusive interviews with our Own Alliance podcast. We'll continue to do that. We'll continue to bring you contact and very interesting interviews. We're going to ramp that up again in 2025. We did quite a few really, really good interviews in 2024. But in 25, we are going to ramp it up, man. We're going to have some very influential people sitting right here in the studio. People that's moving and shaking and have things going on. We're going to get people on here that voices need to be heard. A lot of interesting people out here that we just want to have conversations with. Yeah. So but right now, man, we have partnered up with CMS and VTO Sports, and we are taking on Charlotte Mecklenburg County basketball. That's what we're doing right now. Right now, we are taking on Charlotte Mecklenburg basketball. Right now, first year ever. CMS is having a Sweet 16, man. 16 teams are gonna make it to the Sweet 16, and they're gonna battle their way down until they crown a champion, man. Very, very exciting, man. I'm in these gyms, man, every week now. Man, some amazing athletes, some very amazing athletes, man. We have a lot of talent here in North Carolina. A lot of people don't think we can compete, man, across the country, man. But we got some really talented kids in CMS basketball, man. We really do. You guys, sometimes, man, when you're not doing anything, hey, let me come check them out. They play every Monday, every Thursday. But if you can't do that, you can at least get ready for the Sweet CMS Sweet 16. Come out and support them, man. They're probably going to play the tournament in some high school gyms over the course of about 2 or 3 weeks. Very interesting. I mean, girls' talent is really popping. The girls' CMS basketball is really popping. Boys' talent is by far some of the best talent I've seen. Even of course, you got your AAU, you got your AAU teams, but they are exactly what they are. AAU. They're AAU. So you get guys from all over the country playing for your teams, and so it's just AAU, man. So, but middle school basketball is popping. As a matter of fact, some of your AAU players are on these middle school teams, man. So we were out at JM Alexander tonight. We had our CMS game of the week, what we call our game of the week. Yeah, every week. We pick 2 teams every week. We pick 2 teams to go out and cover their boys and girls basketball, and typically turns out pretty good. I got a couple guys that's going to be getting on here real soon. So yeah, we're just gonna vibe a little bit by myself. So went out to JM Alexander to their basketball game, and they played Ranson, the Ranson Raiders, who were always competitive. Got some very, very good athletes on that basketball team. So they played JMA. JMA boys started out at 5 o'clock. They usually start at 5 o'clock. They started out at 5 o'clock today, and man, it started out going point for point early on with Ranson and JMA, but JMA team very interesting. Very interesting. They very long. JMA has some very, very good size on that basketball team. From 1 to 5, those starting 5 are really long. So it's going to be really hard to it's going to be really hard to beat the JMA Blue Devils. I mean, I think they dropped one to Bradley. Bradley, who is the defending, I think they're the 2-time defending conference champs. So they but right now, JMA looks good. They did beat Ransom Boys tonight by I think somewhere close to that thing got up there about 20. And I don't know if they ended up beating them by 20. Can't remember the final score, but it was JMA all day. JMA dominated on the boards. Like I said, they're very long. Them boys got long wingspans. They run pretty good. They will also press you, even though they may have some big guards and the centers are pretty big. They're pretty big across the board, but they are also athletic, and they will run a full court press on you, and it will stifle you if you don't have any ball handlers. But now Ranson does have a couple ball handlers, number 5 to be exact. I'm not sure if I remember his name. I had documented his name because I went over to one of the Ranson games, and he's only a 7th grader, number 5. If you guys know who I'm talking about, just put a comment if you know the Ranson point guard, number 5. He is a absolute baller. 7th grade, man. This kid is phenomenal, man. I really love his game. He plays a real he's fast with the basketball. He's really quick with the basketball. He can shoot the basketball. And he'll take it. He's not scared to take it in there with amongst the giants. You know, he'll penetrate, and because he did a lot of it tonight. I think he was pretty much the main scorer. He was doing a lot on the floor. But pretty good game, man. Ransom has a pretty good team. They're only going to take, from what I understand, they're only going to take 3 teams from each division. So I think we got like 5, maybe 5 divisions. They're going to take 3, and then I think they're going to have another one coming from one other K8 divisions, is what they call it, K8. So going to take 16 teams from what I understand. So you're talking about 32 teams, girls and boys, playing all the way down to they crown a champion. So make sure you follow CMS youth basketball, man. It's really middle school basketball, and it's really, really exciting. Unfortunately, the most disappointing thing about trying to cover this, and we've done an exceptional job, I think, trying to talk about the middle school basketball, but we've been very challenged. We've been very challenged about getting information. That's been our biggest challenge, honestly. Getting the proper information so we can get it out to the audience, to everyone, so they can follow us. And when I say getting information, I simply mean getting scores, getting those scores every week. We're not getting scores every week from every school and in every conference. Right now, we're kind of struggling to get the records, the standings. We need standings on who's beating who. We're just going out to these gyms. We're covering the sport, but we're not getting. We still are still struggling with getting the the record right now. So right now we're not 100% sure on who's at the top. We kind of know who's at the top, but not 100%. We're not 100%. And like tonight, we should be bringing you all the teams that won tonight, and what their records are, and what place everyone is in. But we're unable to do that, and that's very disappointing. And I apologize because we are committed to bringing you. We are committed to bringing you, all the scores and standings. So if anybody's listening, that's a part of the middle school basketball, you have kids in middle school, you coach middle school, you're AD at the middle schools here in Charlotte, can you reach out to On the Line Sports Media, please? We're trying to give the middle school kids as much exposure as possible. Okay? Everyone no one finds out about these kids until they get to high school. Where did he come from? We didn't know anything about him. Who did he used to play for? Well, we want to give you an up close and personal relationships with these middle school kids that are balling right now. Not wait until they get to high school. Okay, so that's what we're doing, man. That's it, and we're gonna keep doing it. We're committed. We're committed, and I know middle school here in Charlotte is not used to um they're not used to this type of coverage, man. I mean, we doing live interviews, man. We walking up, pulling up on coaches, man, just like you see on ESPN, just like you would see at college basketball. Halftime, we asking questions before the game. We pull a coach and they looking at us like, me? You want to interview me? Yeah. So we have pulled up on a lot of coaches in CMS so far, and surprisingly, we've done a pretty good job. Really great interview, very smart, all in type coaches. So y'all bear with us, man. Bear with us, man. Help us out. We're gonna bring you. And the great thing about it, dude, is we are now live streaming. We are live streaming. Like you can sit in your living room and you can get your popcorn. You can get your drinks and your popcorn, whatever you decide you might want to have right there at your fingertips. And if you want to watch CMS basketball, we live streaming every week. Every week we are live streaming On the Lines Sports Media. So, and it's clear. Our stuff clear too. We got quality stuff. We got quality cameras. We got quality audio. We got quality visual. And let us know. Sometimes it might not be so quality. And whenever it's not quality, we look for you, the viewers, to let us know when we don't have some quality stuff on the screen. Because that's the only way we get better, right? But we are committed, 100% committed to getting the content out there to you guys. That's the number one thing is we want to try to get as much content and as much information out to you about middle school. But let us know what's up. But we live streaming though. Dog. I'm telling you. My man Clark. I mean,
What's up, man?
You sitting back like, what I'm saying? Like,
Man, I'm chilling, man, in my spot, man. This is where I relax,
yeah,
unwind for the day.
lacking, chilling.
Chillaxing, what we do.
Yeah.
This is Pride Day for us, boy. Thursday is that day, boy. Woo!
Oh yeah. This is it, man.
That day.
Thursday, you got to push out some amps, boy. You got to get off work. And then whatever you do when you get off work, you got to come, hurry up, get to the gym. And then after the gym, you got to get to the studio, you get on the show. And then you got to try to find some relaxed time.
But we do this for the people, man. We do this for the people. And I heard you talking about the middle school scene, man. We're trying to bring that middle school scene to life, man. Like, these kids deserve to be recognized, bro. So it's not such a shock when you see this kid balling in high school. You're like, oh, I saw him on the lines, bro. This kid's a ball. I've been looking for him. So we trying to highlight these kids, man. And honestly, there's some good coaches at middle school basketball. Just we mic up the coaches, man. We sitting in the huddles with the coaches, listening to instructions. There's some good quality coaching going on. So the future of high school basketball here in Charlotte is good based off what we've seen, man. So we just need people to get out and support them, man. Support these middle school kids, man. You know, if you got a kid, go see them play, man. If you got a nephew or a little brother, get out there and support these kids, man. It's nothing like looking up in the stands. You know, this is an athlete. It's seeing your family, man. Seeing your
Yeah.
family in your home, bro. So teachers, parents, cousins, siblings, get out there and support these kids, man. They deserve it. They
Man,
work.
middle school basketball, you're right, Coach Clark. Middle school basketball is definitely trending upward here at CMS. However, we just want to be able to give, like you just said, give some of these student athletes some exposure, man, so you'll know about them. You'll continue to follow them. You'll continue to support them on their journey for whatever. You never know, man. See, hey,
Never
listen,
know.
don't start claiming them.
Yep.
Don't start claiming them.
Start claiming
Nope.
them when they blow up.
Yeah, when they blow up,
Oh, I
you
remember.
know,
No, you don't. Well, I
no,
bet
because
you didn't
yep.
show up.
Now I gotta give it to you. The gyms are pretty, the gyms are pretty tight. They pretty packed.
Yeah. They bring out a good crowd, man. They really do put out a good product, man. So, hey, man, listen, we're doing our part to bring it to the forefront, man. So, hey, guys, just jump on, man. Jump on and support these kids, man. We always talk about things that we can do to support these kids. Showing up, man, even if it's not your kid. It could be your neighbor's kid, man. Just somebody in your neighborhood. Just show that kid some support, man. That can go a long ways and keep them on the right path and goal driven, man. When people know people are behind them, it makes the journey a little less rigid, but it gives them more clarity on what they're doing. So support them, man.
For sure, man. And that's just what and we're gonna when we talk about support and our commitment to bringing things to light, man. We're gonna do a forum. We're gonna create a forum, right?
I'm looking forward to that.
We got a forum scheduled in February, and I think I put it out there on Facebook. I did, and we're trying to we're gonna have a sports media forum, a panel of expert leaders, influential coaches, mentors. We're gonna have we want you guys to kind of engage in this 3-part series, and it's gonna have we're gonna have topics including what's the state of youth football. We'll do the state of youth basketball too. The state of youth football.
It's youth sports, period.
Youth sports, period, in North Carolina. The rise, like we talked about, is trending upward here with the football Elite 8 here in Charlotte. That's trending upward. The decline, because there is some decline, is what we're talking about now, is not enough support, right? What's the decline? Not enough good coaches. Super important. We want to talk about that, and why aren't the coaches? Why aren't you supporting our youth student athletes? I don't get it. Why wouldn't you support these kids, man? Right? With what's going on in the world, what would hold you back and stop you from doing it? You know?
Speak on it, man. There's too much going on out here, man. We owe it, man. It's always about reaching back and pulling somebody forward. We owe it to these children, man, to be there to support those kids that don't have those father figures or positive male role models, man. Just because our kids are aged out, I truly believe, myself, you, and a lot of guys we have on this show, that we're called to do this, bro. This is our ministry to support these young kids and show them that, you have there's black men out there that support you. Because I always say this: everybody's kid that's successful is successful because somebody who wasn't their parent gave a damn about them.
Right.
Your parents not coaching you from 5 to college. Your parents not always there. There's men that you trust, like I trusted my son to play with you. You know what I'm saying? There's other guys though that we hang out with, and my sons play for them. I trust those guys because I know they have his best interest in mind, because I can't do it all. You can't do it all for your son. I've trained your kids. It's just, it's a village, bro. So we gotta support these kids, man. And, because it only takes one time to get a taste of that street life. And it's hard to shake, bro. It's hard to shake. So we need to keep these kids as positive going in the right direction as possible, man, because we don't want to lose. We need, like I said before, man, we need to put the candlelight visual people out of business. Period. So this is a way to do it. It saved
Yeah,
all of
man.
us.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a good point, man. Kind of like vigil people need to be like, man, we're losing our jobs.
And they'll be happy. I guarantee you.
Yeah, we're
Guarantee
losing our jobs, man, and we want that to happen, man. Certainly, man, because that's still very unsettling. Some of the things that's going on. I was looking, and I'm from Greensboro, so last week I was looking, and Greensboro had, and we're not gonna go off, we're not gonna go completely off topic.
Mhm.
Well, actually, we can talk about this shit.
We
It
can
needs to
talk
be talked.
about. That's what we're here for.
Six homicides in
Wow,
like the course, 6 homicides, and I think it was in a week or
that's,
two.
that's insane, bro.
6 homicides already due to gun violence,
Mhm.
right? And teen violence, man. Like, what the heck is that? That shit is puzzling, man. Absolutely
Well,
puzzling.
it's a perfect storm, man. You gotta think about it. Like, it's a perfect storm, man. Like, in the sense of that's what they want to happen. The power of the government, whoever you want to say wants it to happen, is happening because it's a perfect storm, man. You got kids that wake up every morning and they just start poisoning their mind with music and videos, and then they got this mindset like, if anybody try me, it's on, right? They already walk around with PTSD, and then just like that, it don't take much, bro. So how
Yeah,
do we
man.
fix? That's the question. How do we fix
Yeah,
it?
that's the thing that we always talk about. What are the strategies, and what are the things that we can do to bridge that gap, to close those gaps, to foster some type of change,
Mm-hmm.
to get the leaders and to get all the influential leaders and the families and the kids all together, and some type of collaboration, gain some understanding, and
Right.
get some type of collaboration together, and gain understanding as to the why. Why is this happening? Why is it happening? When does it? And I'm gonna continue to ask this question, man, until I get an answer. It's when the
You
hell
know,
does when the hell does this start? I always, you remember, I always talk about the
yeah, you
cute
always
kid.
say that.
I always
Well,
talk about the cute kid, the cute kindergartner, the cute first grader, the cute second grader, third grader, elementary school kid, and then they get to middle school.
yeah,
When they get to that 11 and they get 12, and you start, and then I think the most common thing you find, you see happening in these schools is they start vaping. They start
yeah.
vaping
They
early. They
influence
start
all day
smoking.
long,
They
bro.
start smoking weed. Kids are always, they always have been. Kids always been interested in sex, of course.
Yeah.
We talk about their having what
What
I,
my opinion is?
I, I
Here's
man,
my
I'm sure.
opinion. I think it's what it is that once they start getting to that middle school age, they start having a little more freedom, right? With the world we live in, not very many kids are fortunate to have a stay-at-home mom, right? Most households, both people are working.
Yeah.
So that 2 hours, 3 hours at home by themselves with no supervision at 12 and 13 years old, because it is what it is. It's necessary evil. You got daycare is expensive. After they don't have after school programs, so that kid has no choice but to basically have that freedom. And we know we were kids. We know what we act like when our parents aren't around, but we didn't have the access to the world at our fingertips like they do now.
No.
So it's
Yeah.
so much influence, man. There's so much influence, not just in their peer group or their immediate friends, but as soon as they open that phone, bro, they're in a whole nother galaxy. So and then it's constant. You know how the algorithm works. Whatever you watch, they're gonna keep feeding it to you. They're gonna keep feeding it to you. And these kids, man, listen, the whole TikTok thing, right? When it was supposed to be banned. So when I
Yeah.
heard it was banned, when it shut off, I deleted it from my phone, right?
Right.
Because I thought it was gone. But when it came back, but if you delete it, you can't. You can't. It's not in the app store anymore.
Right.
Right. But here's the thing. I found myself with so much more time to do shit because I didn't realize how much time I was spending on it.
Yeah. Right.
Like, holy shit, I'd be on TikTok right. And I was like, thank God. Even if it came back, I probably wouldn't download it.
That is true. That is true.
Because you can get lost on that thing, man. So I think
Go ahead. No, finish.
Like
Make a point.
Get so lost on that and get caught up, and then their mind starts spouting, and they're just gonna it's a machine, bro. It knows what you like. It's gonna keep feeding you. It's gonna keep feeding you. It's gonna keep feeding until you act on some of these things you've seen, right? If you keep seeing something, you want to know what's that really about. That's when people start having sex, and they start wanting guns, and they start wanting to smoke weed, so it's like, a lot of times you hear people, well, the parents, you can't, some parents aren't great parents, but there are a lot of parents most parents are good parents with the intention of doing right by their children, but you have no chance against this society now. Your kid is exposed to so much, bro.
But my thing is, no. It's gotta be a chance. They gotta have a chance.
Here's what I'm saying. Listen, hear me out. You can only hope. Your kids are gonna see stuff. So if you thinking it's because they don't have a phone, they're not gonna. Come on. Their friends have phones. They're gonna see and the more you try to keep something away from people, they're gonna try to seek it out. All I'm saying is, like, a lot of people, you can only hope that you've equipped your child well enough so when they go out under these influences, they know how to make the right decision. Right? Now, if it's 1 or 2 kids, your kid might make the right decision. But if it's 10 kids and he's the 1 out of the 9 others that's not doing something, it might be a little easier for them to get pulled in. So it's like,
been there for years.
Peer pressure. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Peer pressure. Been there for years, right?
Yeah.
So been there for years. We've had peer pressure. I mean, before us, peer pressure. God doggone it. We, mom and dad, or mom, will spare that spare that rod.
Oh, absolutely.
Spare the rod. The problem is, the bottom line, period, 100% to me, my opinion, is there's not enough consequences inside these households for these kids to feel that pain before they make that decision. When they get out there and they're amongst their peers, and it's 10 people deciding to go smoke weed or whatever negative influence that's out there at that moment. If you getting that, if your parents are sparing the rod and that discipline is happening at the crib, you're going to be a little bit more reluctant to put your, you know what I'm saying? Like it might be 10 of them saying street lights came on, but we're gonna stay out here. You're gonna look up.
I got triggered when you said
I got to go.
I just got triggered at 55 when you said street lights. I already leave.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's time to go. Yeah, but I'm just saying, man, these parents, come on, man, you gotta do better. Think about this. We was coaching. We've been in youth football for a long time, right? We had organizations forever, right? Had all these kids, and 6U, 7U, 8U, 9U, 10U, 11U, 12U. When you got the 12U, you stop seeing the support at the game. 12U and 13U, minimal support. All right, minimal support at the games, minimal support paying their fees to play, meaning the parent is going to pay because they want their 12 and 13-year-old kid to play. I want them to participate. I want them to be involved. Nope. Those were the least expected kids to pay, was the 12 and 13-year-old. Because why? Because mom or dad and mom starts to, for whatever reason, they stop paying attention at 12 and 13. This is it's a trend, bro. It's been going on for a long time. You come to a 12U game, 13U game, damn stands damn near empty. Where are the
Yeah,
parents?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I told you.
and you
That's
just
my
said it,
whole point.
and then we taking them home. We taking them home.
We
So we
babysitters.
dropping them off. We dropping them off with 2 or 3 cars in the driveway.
Oh boy, don't get
We
me
picking
started.
them up. We picking them up with 2 or 3 cars in the driveway.
Right.
What I'm saying, my point is, why are we losing? These kids are, let's just keep it a buck. They're dying in the streets. They're getting murdered, man. They're starting to get exposed to these guns and these gangs and all this corruption and destruction that's in the streets at 12 and 13. Where the hell are you, parent? Why don't let your kid go that way at 12? So I know some of them, like you said, the world is, it's hard. You pick up that phone and you just feel like you gotta be, you gotta be exposed to this shit. You gotta be a part of it, man. I gotta get that gun, man. Shoot, man. This shorty want me to come over there and do that. We did that. We did that part of the sex. I'm talking about the violence, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
But
how
bro, you
are
gotta
these
understand.
kids? It's like it's a bunch of predators, and it's true, living in the neighborhood, making it seem like it's really, really cool to be a part of this gang. Oh man, shit, man,
Bro,
that's
you got
corny.
dudes
Man,
in
you playing
jail.
basketball, boy? You ain't gonna never be nothing no basketball, man. Football, go to football practice, nigga. Please, we over here got there and doing this, boy. We got girls coming through. We got these guns. We got money. Please,
We got some
we got
pills.
drinks. We turn up. We turn up. We lit, man. And these parents, where are the freaking parents, bro?
At work.
This right here, yeah. Nah, hey, man. They got to work. I give it to them. I give it to them.
Like I said, man, I feel like a lot of people give the parents too much of the burden of what their kids do. Like, you could teach your kid everything you want, man, but sometimes that influence is stronger, particularly when you don't have a male at home. Then most of the time we find these situations where there's not a man in the household.
That's true.
So think about it. You're 13, 14, your mom can't hurt you no more.
So
she can't hurt you no more. What's she gonna do? Put you on punishment and then go to work and think you're gonna stay in the house? You know what I'm saying?
So although the man and the woman, this topic could go on forever. So although the man and the woman is not at home, they living in separate households, where the hell is the man? I don't give a crap.
I don't either,
and that's right. When we already know, deadbeat dads, whatever, they're out there. They are deadbeat dads. Now, mama made the decision. This is the man you chose to do what you do, did what you did. And I'm not saying, it happens.
But why not? I don't know about that one, bro. Because come on.
I'm just saying. I'm not blaming the woman completely. But some of it is on her. Hey man, like I said, these are what I'm about. This could go on for a minute. This could go on for a minute. But the men got to get more involved. It's easy for a man It's easy for a man to run and take off. It's easy. And you know what? Sometimes the men are taking the path to run. When it gets a little bit too tough, they running. Which, and to me, that weakens the family structure, that weakens what happens, God's intentions for family on earth, right? Right?
I agree.
It weakens the structure, family structure. Of course, it gives the devil an opportunity to attack even more now that the family structure is not there anymore. It weakens the earth, if we want to say the least. Men are running. I mean, unfortunately, because it's too easy. Oh man, shit, man. Shit. To me, you didn't become much stronger when you did that, but whatever.
You don't want that. Means to me is like if it's I just get so sick of hearing she won't let me. What do you mean she won't let you? That means go to court. If you really want to be involved with your kid's life, go to the courthouse. She will. If she wants child support and you're not paying, guess what she's going to do? she's going to go to the system. Why can't you go to the system and get your rights to your kid?
Fight.
You know, I was talking to a social worker the other day, and this is how I think one of the ways you can mend a lot of these, you know, people, it happens every day. People break up every day. It is what it is. Co-parenting is a must. But I feel like this. If that man or woman is going to have to pay child support, because there's a lot of kids that live with their dads now, I think they should have to go to therapy to learn how to co-parent before there's any money exchange. And I guarantee you that'll solve a lot of problems, because, you know, because what it is, I think it's still the trauma of the breakup. There's some unresolved feelings on both or one party's end. Somebody might have moved on. Somebody might not have moved on. They both might have moved on. But to me, it's like, you know, if you don't, it's about your kid at this point, right? So why not go to therapy, couples therapy or co-parenting therapy before any money is exchanged? And I guarantee you, somebody's going to show up for those classes.
Yeah.
Because if your money depends on you attending these classes, somebody's going to go. And there might be some resistance, but if you go and you dive in, you might discover the reason why you having this conflict. You know, there might be some unresolved issues for you from your childhood that you're triggered by, or you're still, you know, you're lashing out at people because you haven't resolved those things. So I think that would be a great step to kind of create a healthy co-parenting relationship, because then it won't be no, well, she won't let me, he won't let me. No, this is part of the court order. If you want to get paid, go to these classes.
Hey, you know what? Whatever, and that's a great point. A lot of people are dealing with some unresolved issues within themselves. That, you're exactly right, and you will discover. There will be some discovery if you once you sit down and talk to a counselor. And I think, you're right, because but men, back once again, I love my black men, and I'm rooting for them. Right? There's a call for male leadership across the country, right? And it starts at the crib. It's got to start at the crib, leading your family. And the men don't fight hard enough. Men, if there's nothing else in the world, I think I said this before, that you fight for, is you fight for your damn family, right? Why do you fight after the fact? Now I'm gonna go fight for my kid. Well, you should first of all fight to keep the kid in your life. But
why should you have to fight? That's the biggest.
But why should you have to fight?
Fight to have their kid in there.
Well, you know, you shouldn't have to fight. Like,
but
that's a whole nother topic too. You know, women keeping the men away from their kids. That's stupid. Unless the only way I condone that is if the father is involved in a bunch of minutia. I had to get that word out there. My favorite word. If the father is involved in a lot of the destruction and stuff that's going on in the street,
absolutely.
Right. But why would you stop because of your own personal vendetta against him for whatever, because the relationship didn't work out? Why would you stop him from seeing his child, a black father, white father, whatever other ethnic group father, from seeing their child? That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? But either way, man, we gotta, we'll talk about it. We can talk about it, man. Maybe we can see, maybe there will be some change at some point if we get enough groups and enough people stepping in. But it's got to be some action taken.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's got to be some action. And you made a very valid point. At our last discussion when we talked about so who has the most time being spent with these kids?
Absolutely.
Is these youth
coaches,
football, youth basketball, youth whatever sport that they might play. The kids, the coaches,
right?
The coaches have more a great opportunity to step in and at least try to redirect or send a
Uh,
message to these kids. And I
uh,
think there's so many moments being missed out there amongst these youth organizations, these youth coaches, because you're right. If you're spending 2 hours, if you got practice, if you depends on AAU basketball, if that's what you do,
right.
youth football, if that's what you do, maybe 3 days a week, that's 6, 7, that's probably 8 hours a week,
Come
2 hours
on.
a day.
That's a
Middle
lot.
school, that's a lot of hours. You're
So
gonna
think
at
about
least get
this. Let's think
you're gonna
about
get
this.
at least 10 to 12 hours per week with these kids.
Okay. Let's say 12 hours. Let's say that you're with that kid 12 hours a week, right? Think about this. Most people get off work at what, 5 o'clock,
Right,
right? So if that kid gets off school, your parents get off at 5, kid had to be at practice at 6. He's at practice from 6 to 8, right? He goes home, eats, go to bed. He's probably in bed, what, 10 o'clock. All right.
right,
He does that 5 days a week, right? He spent probably 10 waking hours with his parents, and he spent 12 with you.
right,
You tell me you don't have influence?
right.
You have to understand that. Like, I don't think people ever really think about that dynamic. I really just thought about it myself, because I was like, when you said that, like, if they're practicing 2 hours games on the weekend, let's say in season, let's say they practice 4 days a week, 3 days a week, games. So even for the game's what, 2 hour and a half, 2 hours. Even there, you meet 2 hours before the game starts. So he's with the
Right.
coach then. So he's with the kid coach for at least 4 hours on game day.
Yeah,
Then he's
that's
with
a
them
lot.
8 to 10 hours during the week. So that's 14 hours, 12, 14 hours a week. You're seeing that kid more than his parents is versus
Yeah,
the weekend, because the parent gets up, he goes to the bus, or they go to school. You don't see that kid again until you get off work, 5 o'clock. And then you take him into practice. You spend, what, 30 minutes driving to practice. He goes to coach, you drive him home, you feed him, he goes to bed, and then we do it all over again. If you think about it, you're in the same space as them, but you're not spending any really quality time with that kid, especially your
right,
kid's heavily involved in sports. So it's incumbent of the coaches to do the right thing. And there's a lot of good coaches out there. And I've been away from youth football for a while, but I had to give shout out to my boy Ant Gibbs, man. He is one of the coaches I know that's out there doing something positive, not just running these kids' bodies into the ground. Like, I rarely see him at events without some of his kids. And
right.
not his own, I mean players, not even his own children. He's always with them. But I'm saying
Sir.
there's always other kids around. He
Yeah,
brought kids to me to train. So I know there's good coaches out there, good dudes out there, man, that's looking out for the better of these kids. So I'm just saying, man,
mm,
just do the right thing by these children, man. You do not know, especially if you're just starting to coach, you really have no idea what the impact that you will have on these kids' life. Like, we
right,
still talk to kids that we coached when they were 7 to 8 years old. They're grown men with families now.
right.
And they still call you coach, and you ain't coached them in 15 years, they
You know
call you
what
for
type
a
of
wedding.
impact. Yeah,
You did something right, man. So,
yeah.
you know,
So
and I, we
educators,
yeah, and we've produced a lot more good than bad, way more good. There's a lot of kids that come to
yeah,
our organization that, solid citizen. And of course, there's a few bad apples no matter what you do. But for the most part, man, I think the foundation was about the children and teaching them about life, and teaching them to be
right.
men. And it was obvious. You can't fake that shit, bro. You can't fake it. So
Man, that's crazy. So the educators, which is the school, which are the teachers and counselors and the coaches, the youth coaches spend more time with your kid
yeah,
than than the parent.
think about it.
They do. No, 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 no. I'm point well taken.
Yeah.
So we got to include the educators too because they're
Yeah,
at school all
they
day.
spend way more time with your kids, especially if you
They
got
they
kids that are what, kindergarten through, like, what, third, fourth grade, before they
right,
start changing classes, but they're sitting in the same classroom all day.
right. So
They definitely have more
I
influence.
I wonder, and I'm not, I haven't been in the middle schools to find out, what programs are in the middle schools that can help provide more of a positive influence on these kids? Are they, what programs are in the middle schools
Right.
that can help redirect kids? Or is it just little Johnny gets in trouble in school and we send him to ISS?
I said,
Assuming they still have that because they have the
they have ISS. Yep.
yeah, they
It's
still
still
have the
every day.
ISS. So you still have that. And do they have anyone that actually, when you go to ISS, of course you gotta, they send you, I'm assuming they send the work for the
Yep.
classes that you're gonna miss. So they
Yep.
get the work from your teachers and you can do that and you sit in there in the ISS. And is there
Most of them in
anyone
military.
at that moment helping to try to redirect I think they call them BMTs, but I think it's so much going on in these schools, I'm sure, that the BMTs probably maybe not even have the time to sit down and
Mhm.
try to do some redirecting for these kids. Man, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Hold
It's
on, man. All right, quick. I think somebody's trying to get on too.
I'm gonna add my man, Chris Hawk in the building.
What's good, fellas?
Hey, what's up, man?
I can't call it.
What's
I
going
see
on
you
with
all over the internet. See you done hit the city up with your panel coming in February.
you? Yeah, man, we're gonna we was just kind of talking about that a little bit. We're gonna put together like a 3-part series. We're gonna talk about some of the issues with from youth football and middle
Hmm.
school football to high school football, and what are the disconnects between all these guys, the high school coaches and the middle school coaches and the youth coaches. What's the disconnect, and what can we do to collaborate to help bridge the gap on the misunderstanding between the three or the four, from youth. What can we do to make it an easier transition from youth football to now you're a middle school athlete, now you're going to be a high school athlete, and how can we bridge those gaps to make sure that we maximize every last one of those kids' potential, so once they
Hmm.
reach so once it's an opportunity for these kids to go to school, to college, to a university, even if they don't want to play sports, they've been so they've been guided so well, because between youth football, basketball, or whatever sport, they've been so conditioned to think on a positive level, and all the schools from all the levels of coaches are thinking the same way. Like, shoot, book
Hmm.
them just sent me a batch of kids from this middle school, man. These guys are awesome. So we want them to build on that. We want the high school
Right.
coaches and high school educators to be able to build on that. We want to talk about what's the solution to some of that, because me and Philando was just talking about where we lose them at some point. Like, we lose them. Like that's just like, if we're just talking sports. If I send you
Hmm.
a hell of an athlete, if I send you a hell of an athlete, he's been trained, he's been to the NC Giants. Let's just say he has the work ethics, he has the skill set. They've been building on the skill set. He's been training, doing some off training with Palando. At Impact. He's been doing some speed training with Sam Adams. He's been doing all of that, and then we send him to a high school coach that's just straight, just don't have the same drive to develop an athlete. I guess once you get to high school, are they still what happens? You guys are in high school, because sometimes we lose a kid. We might see a kid go from youth football, he was good, middle school football, he was great, and then he gets to high school football, and he just falls off because the continuous development is not there.
There it is. I think a
So
lot of
I
these
got to tell you,
they get in positions where um, throughout youth football and middle school ball they've been used, but not to their. They've been used because they're superior athletes. They haven't been developed. You go on the field any given Saturday afternoon, you're gonna see a kid in every game that's just head and shoulders better than everybody else. You're gonna see it. You always see it. But a
Mhm.
lot of times that kid is not develop because he's so much better. He's doing a lot of shit wrong, but he's such much better athlete than everybody. He's so much faster. He's bigger, stronger, that he's getting away with shit, right? So we know in life, in sports and business and anything else, the further you go up the ladder, the more competition there is, right? The weak ones fall off, and then the cream rises to the top, and then we go to the next level. The cream rises to the top of that. Then you get to a kid, you get to high school. Now everybody's big, fast, and strong.
Right.
But there's those kids that have the skill set that's been trained, they're going to excel. That kid that's just been going off talent, he's going to fall apart because now he's actually getting coached hard. He's not used to not being the guy.
Right.
And no one cares what you did in middle school, youth football. This is what we're talking about now, because now we're talking about we're into the business phase of this shit now.
Right.
This coach got to win games to keep his job. Right. So he's going to put the best players out there. If you have not been coached hard, and now you all of a sudden you got some dude cussing you out and calling you everything, and you're not used to it because you've been getting star treatment, they fall off. They start pouting.
Yeah.
That's what happens, bro. I see it.
Being coached hard. Yeah. Being coached hard. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely helps with them thriving.
They can't take
it. And then too
that's not a mom, dad thing. That's the player thing. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then too also like the middle school coaches and like the travel ball coaches, kind of like the BLPK and Giants. Well, needs to start doing like you need to start like surveying the coaches, the schools you can send your kids to. Start studying the coaches there, because you talking about like this, it's like a disconnect. Like he did good here, but then he fall off here. Sometimes they go to a high school where a coach don't play guys both ways. Coaches don't develop kids. You might have a dude that's real good at wide receiver, but they might put him at running back where he's so it. They don't know how to move kids around. So that needs like be in consideration too before you pick a high school. Don't worry about call this high school popular or got a big name. Sometimes I've seen it personally. Some schools is run off talent based. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And a lot of kids are playing out of position.
Yep.
Yeah. Like I mean, you gonna see come next year. Cause I know the kids. I know the parents that hear me now. I know the kids that they're good. They're good at the position they play, but the money position they should be at, they ain't touching. I mean, they're not playing in the position. So I mean,
well,
you got to start studying
the evaluation, and you're right. Your point well taken, because I think we do. There has to be some more training for coaches as it relates to their evaluation process, as you know, with kids, and really understanding a kid's skill set, what his measurables are. It's a scientific. It's some scientific measurables out there and studies that says if this kid, if you see him, his wingspan, his hand size, you know what I'm saying? All of that becomes very relevant when it comes to that's just like I think Earl Alexander was telling me.
Oh yeah, that about Ja, his hand size.
How important it was for them. They would measure. Of course, they measure your hands, your fingertips, how long your wingspan is. All that stuff makes a difference. And then they got all these scientific ways to measure your speed, your movement. And I'm pretty sure, Philando, you probably can be a little bit more articulate when it comes to that. So so all that does make a difference. But and we don't have those resources in middle school. So how do we get coaches to evaluate kids well enough to put them in positions that they feel like they're gonna perform in high school?
I think we're
missing the mark on that. We're missing the mark on that.
Well, a lot of them don't know.
With middle school, you just don't have the time, though. Like you don't have the time. Now you have time in season to do those things, but as far as the evaluation process goes to put a team together, you really don't have that time. Right?
No. We ain't talking about just the team. We're talking about evaluating athletes specifically. Right. Okay.
I know what you're saying. I'm saying like they don't have that time. They just got to fill the team now during the season. You know, they got an opportunity to do those things, but in the beginning, they just trying to get enough players to have a team.
For sure.
You know, that evaluation process, what, a week, and then 2 weeks later they have a game. That's hard to do. And then you got a lot of kids that come into middle school as first-time football players or basketball.
Well, let me ask you a question though. Let me ask you a question. Let's say me, you, Greg.
Oh, it's a totally different animal.
Wait a minute.
I already know.
All of us. Okay, all of us are on the staff.
Mm-hmm.
Right. When them kids get in front of us, how good is our evaluation process going to be?
Oh, it's going to be
with the time, with the same amount of time that this coaching staff over here in the middle school have.
But do they have the experience we have? That's what
I'm saying.
You got these guys that's
that's my point. That's my point. Yeah. That's my point that we don't have enough. We don't have enough qualified guys that can evaluate talent like us, like me or you and Hulk. We can put together a staff. Greg, we can put together a staff, and I can guarantee you we're gonna be almost spot on whether this kid can play corner or whether he can play linebacker or can he play receiver versus play running back. We're gonna be a little bit more spot on.
But here's the thing, Coach. A lot of these guys run the county fair, but they don't really know why they're running it.
Right.
We're running it to evaluate players as, oh, shit, this dude's lateral movement is crazy. He might be a great backer. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like his spear speed is great, but his lateral speed is terrible. He might be a great DN. You know what I'm saying? But so that his hips are crazy in this drill right here. He might be a good corner. But some people are just looking at it to see how fast a kid can do the drill. I'm looking at your footwork and your hips and all these things, the way you move, what position you're going to fit best.
Right.
That's why you go through all the county fair drills, because they're all patterns, specific and almost position specific. And you find players that you thought was going to be a lineman because he was a big boy, and you see how light he is on his feet. You're like, oh, no, this dude's a fucking middle linebacker.
Taking from the three technique to the two technique.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like kids that kids linemen, they end up linebackers. So you gotta understand what you're doing.
Well, Book, I got 2 parts to that. To be honest, a lot of high school ain't good at doing that either. I mean, I can't knock middle school. I see high school ain't doing it good either. Like picking players for certain positions, getting off. So I can't knock middle school for that. Like say y'all don't really have time to do it. Man, we get them jokers in springtime to August to still mess up, and they still don't get it right.
Yeah, you got plenty.
But then too, like say, it needs to be. And we talked about it before. It needs to be some kind of like a middle school symposium where all the coaches need to drop their ego. They need to come together.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get some like college coaches come in and just learn. Like you do at a college coach clinic.
Right.
Just learn. Cause like I say, they get into high school, for example. A lot of schools put a kid at DN. He's 5'11", 6 foot. College want the DN 6'3", 6'4".
Right.
He might be good, but guess what? When college comes through, they're gonna say he's too short. It should be a linebacker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got plenty of time to get it right.
Yeah.
So ain't no different than that Book. I'm good where I'm going with this. You see kids at wide receivers, they're good. Them cats could be at a DB and be 5-star.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like say the high school evaluation a lot of times off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, we got to kind of drop our egos and come together and actually learn like what they're looking at. You know what I'm saying? I seen dudes playing on offense, like offense tackle, offense guard, too short. I see college coaches come through ask them why we put them at D tackle. I said, good question. Why didn't? I mean, it's obvious. If you look at football, like you say, football, you see he's probably a better D tackle than O tackle. But
Coach, a lot of that shit goes on off the high school coach though. Like you had your Coach Griner on here. He has a relationship with the middle school coaches and youth coaches. So I'm sure he's passing information along. This is what we're looking for, man. Look, you got a kid over it. It is what it is. But you got to have these these high school coaches got to reach back to these middle school coaches. And
I
if you
agree.
know this is your feeder school, why would you not attend some of those practices? Because imagine if now he's a state champion, right? When he goes to a middle school practice, come on now.
Yes.
Hey,
Kids
I
start
mean,
you
training.
preach to the choir, man. Listen, you preach to the choir, Clark. I'm with you. Look,
Today,
man,
now I'm gonna tell you what I
I
like.
was in,
Go ahead, Hawk.
I was in a situation where we the top school on the East Coast. I'm talking about you talking about for a clap and pull. Man, couldn't nobody top us at Chambers. I'm not being arrogant. I'm being real from what I've seen.
Oh yeah.
I can go into detail and it will blow your mind. Like, and I don't know. I mean, you're right. We should like what's that school, James Martin or whatever middle school down there. We should be at most of the games. We did go
Yeah,
to some games,
somebody from your
but
staff should be at that game.
Yeah.
at the game. But you right, Clark. All the high school need to drop their pride or ego, whatever is stopping them, and they need to go to the
Absolutely.
middle school game. Like Booker, you at what's the name of school you at Booker?
J.M.
I'm
Alexander.
sorry, man. Yeah, you know I'm right for Charlotte, so I get the
Yeah,
names confused.
J.M. Alexander.
They know, though, no, there's no reason why
It's
North Make
next
coaches.
door to North May. Literally.
It's right behind North Make. There's no reason why North Make coaches ain't down there with you. Not only that, they should have y'all up there with them on Friday nights or whatever.
Come on
Man,
now.
I'm be honest.
I'm keeping it real,
Come
bro.
on now.
No. That's real talk because I seen the North Met coaches. I've never seen them at practice, at one of our practices.
Man,
They could potentially help us. Like run their systems. These kids coming to North
yes,
Met.
Why
exactly,
wouldn't you,
But
bro?
and then
right.
not only that, I'm always looking for some coaches that can help me
Mm-hmm.
understand the game a little bit more, right? I'm always, man, I am so because I know there's infinite knowledge to gain within this coaching thing, right? But if I'm at a middle school, I would love to have some high school coaches to come down and help me learn the different schemes and things that
Mm-hmm.
they run, the different practice habits that they might have, the stuff. And we don't. I've never seen that. When I see the North Met coaches come, and I'm not knocking them, they doing their thing. Okay, is doing the games. They come doing the game, doing on game day. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, come on game day. I think
You gotta
we can
go to
benefit
practice.
more from you when you come if you can make it. If you can make it, if they can make it, but I like what you said, Coach Orlando, when you said shit, somebody should be designated to go spend some time.
Exactly. I agree. I agree.
Somebody
I agree.
from somebody from the high school that you know for a fact that are probably getting ready to get these kids
Mm-hmm.
should be spending some time at that middle school football practice, right? Or they should invite us over to their practice
Bring
field
our kids.
sometime.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well,
And,
Yes.
and
Exactly. I'm with
here's
you.
the
Exactly.
thing,
North
Coach.
Neck and JMA is right through the walk.
Right through the
Booker.
woods. In the
Booker.
middle
5
of
Listen.
minutes
North
When I,
or less.
way. In
We
the
my
should, we
last
should
year
be able to
chamber.
jog over there, hit their sled, get it, they shoot, use some of the equipment
get in the
that we
culture.
don't have.
Get in the
Get in,
culture.
Hey,
That's what
yeah,
it's
hey,
about.
Booker. Now you know, like when we played North Mix, like
disconnect.
usually we would always park in the front of the school, but they having all them fights like every week, so we had to like, I knew the middle school back behind the high school, but we had to like go back by the high school, back by y'all
Walk over
football
there.
field,
Right.
and then that parking lot right there. And I'm like,
Yeah,
man, I did not know that
it was
middle
that
school
close.
was like that close. I'm talking, we basically parking like right there where y'all football field was at.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there's no excuse and no make that
hey,
they're
bro.
not tied in with what you doing.
Bruh, listen to this.
Last year they had year before last they had a team that was 7-1. Made it to the final four of the Elite
Hmm.
Eight, Final
Right.
Four out of all the 30-something teams, Final Four team. So then they have another team that goes 7-1, part of the Elite Eight, won the entire conference, beat all the top teams in their conferences. Now, man, do you know right now, man, man, I have a bid on. I would know every last one of those kids
Come
that could
on.
potentially
Hmm.
come over
Yeah.
to my school, and they might. I don't know. I didn't connect with the coaches, You know, that wasn't something that I did.
Come on, you
You
would
know, I
know.
think Coach Jet
You would,
knew a lot of those coaches. So yeah, yeah, man,
but hey,
it's a lot, man.
Coach Jet's a lion though.
Coach Jet's because you
A
so you think
diehard
Coach Jet? I think Coach Jet be cheating, man. He be slipping them over to West Charlotte.
diehard lion.
Oh, going over to West Charlotte, man.
But
You know,
You know what I'm
come on,
saying?
well, I mean,
man, don't do
but
that.
if they ain't doing what they supposed to at
Think
North
about
Mac,
this.
then it ain't hard to, man.
Think about this. There's two teams that's always in the conversation of high school football. Think about it. Two teams. And the one thing they have in common is a middle school that feeds directly into that school. That's Weddington and Charlotte Catholic.
Woo-wee. You
Yeah.
are right.
They've been the same team. Charlotte Catholic's been the same team for 20 plus years, as far as schematics, right? Those kids learn it in middle school and they go right to high school. And if you ain't never seen a bunch of super athletes at Charlotte Catholic. Never seen
Right.
it.
Right.
But they're always in the conversation. You know why? Because those kids are been in that system for 3 years before they hit high school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they're always in the conversation. So it's fundamental football. They don't do anything fancy. In fact, most will consider their style of football outdated, but they keep winning. Right?
I wouldn't give a crap about that part.
They don't care.
I want to be if it works, then you stop it.
And if you watch them, we play them, they prepare like old school football teams. You
Right.
know, like Charlotte Catholic in particular. They're just there's a culture there that's just been there for years and it's continued. And they're going to continue to be successful because it's not about how athletic they are, it's how fundamentally sound they are.
And you know what, man, that's a great point, and you're right. So it's about the mentality of the community,
Building
the community, and the culture. That's right there in your area. And that's why the forum, we wanted to do the forum when we wanted to talk about the disconnects between middle school and high school, the youth football, the middle school. Why is it such a big disconnect? Like it's almost like, and I'm using North Mac and JMA just because we know what the landscape is over there. We it's right there connected, right in each other's backyard. You know, Chambers and James Martin, right there in each other. There's no freaking way that there should be any disconnect as it relates. It should be a no-brainer that anybody that goes to JM Alexander is not going to North Mac. If JM Alexander has sent me 2 years of 7-1 kids, that means what? They know how to win. They got a winning pedigree. Apparently, they've been well coached, right? Of course, we know it's going to be some things that they're going to have to learn, but it doesn't have to start from. I'm talking about we're going to send you some guys that's going to be immediate impact kids. That's what the goal is.
Yep.
But these coaches should already know these kids.
Yeah,
because we've been over to their school and practice once or twice a week.
Right.
Right adjacent to them or right there on the. Hey, just give us the other end while y'all practice down there, and y'all can show us. They can help us out get better.
They should do that sometime. Yeah,
from week to week. Yeah, man, it should be a whole collaboration, and that's the forum. These are the things that we want to get on a panel and we want to talk about these things. And why can't we come together and do that? Why can't the city? Because at the end of the day, we want to dominate. Once we from Charlotte, we want Charlotte to dominate high school football. When there's a champion crown, we want it to come from Charlotte, 704, because that's where we are. It's where we reside. So if we can get all those programs working together, right? We may be able to create that dynamic, right?
So maybe do a show and just have high school coaches on the show.
Yeah.
All high school coaches. We don't care if it's 1A to 5A to 8A or whatever. We just need high school coaches that's in that situation where the adjacent program in your back door, right?
Right.
Your back. Have those coaches on there and we'll find out what's the cause. Why is there a disconnect? Why isn't there a connect? Because here's my thing. If you're an OC and you got a school right by you that's been putting up 40 points a game, I think I'd probably want to have a conversation with this OC and let's make some synergy, and I can show you some stuff we're going to be running next year. I'm sure that middle school coach is not going to have a problem implement some of those things.
Boom.
If your best interest is to help the kid advance in the sport.
Period.
You know, so why not? I just don't get it, bro. Like, I'm thinking, like, I want to keep this train rolling. You heard Coach, the West Charlotte coach said, man, we're good for a couple of years. We got some good classes coming. We're going to be good for a while.
You know why? Because NC Giants youth football program, the NC Giants,
the bad boys,
fed them some 13-year-old, 14-year-old kids, dogs.
Well, the NC Giants came and we had some Chambers refugees with over there too.
You had some G-Top kids.
G-Top kids,
some dogs. Giants kid fed them some dogs. And I ain't mad at them for feeding them dogs. But here's
what they got going on out here. I don't blame you.
Where they live, I don't know. I don't get into where they live and the address.
Yeah, that don't mean nothing.
That I don't got nothing to do with none of that.
I don't think any of that means anything anymore.
Where these people are getting their kids, I don't give a shit. But if I had a middle school behind me, it's gonna be a 90-something% chance that them kids are coming to play for me, especially if it's a winning. Especially if them kids are winning and they got some solid coaches over there, it's gonna be a 90-something% chance that I go after them kids, bro. That them kids are coming to play for me. They see my face. They hear if I'm the high school coach, those middle school coaches, the kids done seen my face over there on their football practices at their school. They done been over to my football field. You know what I'm saying? I've been hands-on with them. They want to come and play for North Mac or play for whatever feeder school. And I'm sorry, North Mac coaches, I love y'all boys. I know y'all trying to figure out the solution to y'all situation because I think at some point it's gonna change. So, you know, I ain't bragging on y'all or nothing, man. But you know, y'all,
hey Booker,
right there.
Hey, look, hey, Dad, like down in Georgia and Alabama, they do what you said they you want to do. They get during the summertime, they get their middle school, the practice with the high school.
Yeah.
And that's how the middle school kids get better.
Yeah.
And then when they get high school, man, them over like almost unstoppable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. You see what you see in your future right there on the field. You want to be this guy that's in high school. You're seeing it. You can touch it. It's real. It's a real thing. In a couple of years, you're going to be right there. In a couple of years, somebody's going to be where you're at. You're going to get to teach them. So it's like a brotherhood. It's a cultural thing, man. It's like it just keeps building on each other, man. It's going to keep building. And until you do that, you're not going to have a program. You're going to have a football team, but you're not going to have a program.
Yeah. There you go.
There's a difference between have a team and a program. And we see programs. The programs win consistently.
Because they got a system.
They have a system.
They got a system, yeah.
Yes.
They got to have people in place and hire up to keep that system going on. That's the key right there. Like I say, that's the reason Chambers fell off. They had it, but they had the wrong people in the upper part of it and drove them to the ground. Like a Bentley crashing head onto a tree. They had it. And like what Griner doing, I'm gonna get Griner credit. A couple things, more things he can do. Man, it's a wrap for the city of Charlotte. He have everybody want to come to business for after a while.
Yeah, I ain't mad at him.
He is. I ain't mad. I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him.
Get your people, get your folks, build your program.
They doing the thing. Yeah,
build your program, build those relationships that you need to build to get kids to come. And we want to make sure. Let's keep in mind, we want to do it the right way. We want to do it the right way. We make sure the kids are supposed to come to your school. The kids are supposed to be at your school. The kids are not coming because you always get these guys that say, "Oh man, all he does is recruit kids from this, blah blah boom."
Well, they come to win though, man.
These kids want to come and play for West Charlotte, and they are taking the necessary measures that they need to from a legality standpoint to where they're legally and lawfully able to come to your school. There's no illegal stuff going on. That man just has a program that these kids want to be a part of. And that's just
Coach Hawk, Booker, you say, what's one of the coolest things is about high school is, and when you have in a program, you guys have seen it. You've seen it numerous times. When that kid comes in as a freshman and the way they leave as seniors.
There you go.
They're completely different people, bro. They speak differently. They carry themselves differently. They have a way about them, a confidence about them that they're ready to go do whatever, bro. And they all go different ways, man. They go D1 to 3-3 to military, whatever it is. But the development of that kid from the first day he walks through that door to when he graduates, it's a complete transformation, bro. And most of the time is in a positive manner. You know, they become more polite, they become more confident, they speak differently. Amongst their peers, they're gonna act the way they act. But I'm saying they know how to conduct themselves, you know, in society, you know, and watching.
Don't that make you proud?
Yeah, it's dope. It's a dope experience, man. So I feel like, why wouldn't you want to be that? Why wouldn't you want to have a program? And obviously, you want to win football games. Let's not get that twisted. But if you can have a solid program and developing kids,
a system,
that's winning, bro.
They have a system.
Period.
Because not only one team's going to win every year in East Dominion. One team is going to be happy.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
There's a lot of good that can happen, man. You know, I'm just glad to be a part of it with the coaching staff I'm with, man. And, you know, just I feel like we're in the right direction. You know, we had a bumpy start, but no one gave up on each other as a staff, which was key.
Right.
You know, we understand where we were going. We understand what we were dealt. So,
man, having a cohesive coaching staff, believing. That's right. There you go. Believe, because that's where you came from. That's where we came from. Believing in each other, no matter how we win. You know, we win together, and that loss together. That's just what it is. We lose together. You know what I mean? I can't remember a whole lot of finger pointing in our culture of football that we taught growing up in Beatty Sports System and stuff like that. When we lost football games, I seen you and Greg and Todd and all them. Y'all played in some big time football games, bro. Some big time football games. And if y'all took an L, y'all took an L together. You know what I'm saying? We took L's together, man, and that's just what it was. And you know what you do? You go back. You go back and reevaluate your situation, and you redo that thing and get better. You know what I mean? You redo it, and then but you got these coaches. Sometimes they point the fingers, and I see it. It happens. They pointing fingers at each other, and you should have did this, and you should have did that. You know, sometimes you lose freaking football games, man.
Well, it comes down to this, man. It comes down to respect and understanding the chain of command. Right. Period. Fuck what happens off the field. I'm talking about when we get on the field. Greg's the head coach. I'm the DC. You're the OC. Todd's the Oak. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have our roles. Yeah. And that shit's over. We're back to being boys. But it's nothing personal when we're between the lines. Is we each have a job to do. You know, we know the order. We know the pecking order. We know what responsibilities are. And then once we trust each other. Boys. But you showing these kids, your kids, that I know they're friends, but damn, he called them, you know, they said yes sir to each other. And then, you know, he's listening to Coach Greg say, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to argue with him. Why are we doing it? Because he's the head coach. Yeah. And I think coaching staffs like that trust, you said some very key words, you know, might sound cliche or whatever, that you trust and you respect each other. And you trust and respect the knowledge that each one of you guys have, and you respect the time that you put in, and the work that you've done, and the time that you put in, and the knowledge that you have, and you should respect. And on game day, it should exude nothing but a total confident staff, cohesive staff, win or lose. And that's what to me, that's what a staff should look like. No, I don't think any coach, when I see coaches, sometimes a head coach might have to step in, but sometimes you got head coaches that are just a little bit, what do you want to call it? They're facilitator, they're management. They bear down on the offensive coordinator, they bear down on the defensive coordinator, and it just makes it an uncomfortable place to coach. Yeah, you
And
can't do.
I ain't with all that. You know, you ain't with all that. And it
Nah,
makes it and somewhere you're gonna fall short. As good as you think you are, somewhere you're gonna come up short because you haven't had the confidence and the respect and of your coaches, your coordinators and stuff like that. So
I
you got to
agree
be
with
real meticulous about. You got to be very meticulous about who you put on your staff, bro, and those relationships,
Yeah.
and those
you.
characters.
That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
key relationship part of it. Like, you just got to understand your role, and you can't take anything personal. You got to check your ego. This is what it is. This is what we're doing. This is what I signed out for. You can't. If someone questions you, I'm sure that it's coming from a good place.
right.
You know, unless you just got an egomaniac, then he needs to
Yeah,
coach the team by himself.
yeah.
But you
There
gotta
you
know
go.
that going in, what you're dealing with. You got
Yeah,
times you might not agree with them, but understand your position. Understand there's right here in front of these kids is not the time to have a disagreement.
right.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
just like parents with their kids,
Yeah, I hate that.
your kids all the time. Listen, when I come to that school, when we go sit down with this principal, I'm on your side. Understand that. Now, don't embarrass me because don't have me up here looking crazy.
Right,
I'm trusting you're telling me it's true because I'm gonna side with you first.
right,
But if I see
right.
something different, we're gonna handle that. You know what I'm saying? But just you gotta put your ego to the side, understand your position, and just do your job, bro. Period. Bottom line.
The the,
Listen,
the, the one thing the one thing that could it's crazy. It's just a 3 letter word that can separate you from going from good to great. You know what I'm saying, or just staying
yep,
together. 3 letters.
W.
EGO.
Yep,
What?
ego,
Yep.
and another was WIN.
Yeah, keep stop
Win.
you from winning. Yeah, man. Absolutely crazy, man. But it's out there, man. We'll continue to talk about it. We're gonna continue to build this forum. I'm sure you guys are gonna be a part of it, of what we do, where we continue to build these forums where we sit down and we talk to some of these guys, man. Like high school coaches, influencers, mentors, community leaders, and we talk about bridging the gap. We talked about a few things tonight, but we want to get a little bit more all inclusive and
Hmm.
this could be very powerful conversations that
I
we can
agree.
have with people,
Agree.
man, that needs to at some point just sit down and listen, because I think the days of sitting down and having face to face meetings and communicating with different people from different walks that can make the difference, it's gone because of social media. You know,
Hmm.
but
Because what we
we'll
do,
continue.
are we
Hey,
communicating
we need to
right?
get back to it.
We're gonna continue to do it,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, we need
Like
to get back to it, man.
said, coach, bring in different high school coaches and let's sit down and let's just have some dialogue, some good positive dialogue, because at the end of the day, we all on the same team. We got kids in front of us doing the same things. At the end of the day, we want to win.
Yep.
Hmm.
Every coach wants to win, and it's hard to get wins. How do we get there? What's the formula? Who has the best formula? Who can give me some advice on some things that I need to do different? And it
Yep.
could be some other high school coaches, high school men in the same room at the same time having those conversations that I continue to want to load my toolbox. My toolbox got a big empty space in it, and I'm
Hmm.
ready to fill
Hmm.
that joint up. You know what I'm talking about? I carry my toolbox with me, man, and I need to fill it up. I need to get rid of some old tools. And
Yep.
but who are the people that you sit down and talk to that can help you? You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
coach.
continue.
I agree, man. One of the things I always say, man, you should always almost be there.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always space in the toolbox. You should always be there. Because once we get there, then what? So you should always, once you feel like you're getting closer, push the bar up a little higher. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? You're almost,
Hmm.
almost there. You're gonna keep going, bro. You're gonna keep going.
yeah, man. Well, man, we ain't gonna hold you, man. I got to get out of here. Yeah. Great conversation as usual.
Great.
with
Hmm.
with with great minds, and we just continue to pound away at this thing, man, until we get it right. Somebody's listening.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Oh
Somebody's
yeah.
listening.
Oh yeah.
It's
Even
all
if
about at the end of the day, you're
even if they ain't
listening,
listening.
but it's about application. at that point. You know, we can listen, but it's about applying some of the things that you hear, right? So I appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all, brothers, man. And until
Yes,
next time,
sir.
man, another conversation will happen.
My
All right,
guys, y'all be